Well, hi guys, it's Fred here. Just wanted to wish all my subscribers a Merry Christmas today. It's Christmas 2018, and it's a kind of a mild day today. No snow, kind of disappointed about that, but it's a good day for a walk. Just wanted to update you a little bit on what's been going on in my life. You'll get a post here pretty soon of a video from a hike in the first weekend in November that Dave and I did up in New York State. And basically at the end of that hike I basically injured my foot, and so yesterday, that was the first weekend in November, and yesterday is the very first day I probably walked more than about a quarter of a mile, and I'm still kind of gimping along. We've had I injured my back on that trip, not really on the trip, but just before I went on it, and I aggravated it, and then my neuropathy from my sugar has also been interacting with that, and so right now I've got a problem with my left foot. It's not working very well, and scheduled for an MRI next week, and hopefully we can kind of find out what's going on with it. But I've been kind of all hobbled up. I was hoping to go with some Ohio YouTubers up to Oil Creek in Pennsylvania the first weekend in January, but that's not going to happen. I'm not in any shape to go anywhere right now. So, but I just had to get out for a hike, and just wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas. I got a new lunar design solo tent for Christmas. My kids got me that. It's like 1 pound and like 7 ounces or something like that, which is really great. Jason Hermandaler recommended it for me, and I just really am excited about that and using that. And my wife got me a bunch of Mountain House meals and some fire starter, and so I'm pretty set for this year. Hoping that maybe I could at least do a little car camping in January, get out and do some hanging in the winter. So not going to give you too much video here today. Just wanted to say hi, and I'm going to walk out very slowly out to the Walden Pond here out in Blendon Woods. It's a metro park around Columbus. Usually look for some ducks, although right now there's not hardly any out there, but just probably walk out there and then just walk back in. Probably take me twice as long as normal, but hopefully we can get this leg getting going a little bit anyways. So if we'll see you on the trail. Park put a gas line in many years ago, which is a real boon to the park because it helped pay for some of the things. As many of you know, our metro parks and our national parks keep getting their budgets cut and slashed. They have to do more and more with less and less, and which is a shame, because this is a good way for kids and for families to enjoy nature, especially those that live in the city that can't get out. And it's just sad that we aren't putting more money into these. We tend to be putting less rather than more. So, a little quiz for all of you. Here's a tree with leaves on it. They're all brown now, but they're still hanging on. Anybody know what kind of tree that is? I believe, if you look up here, I don't know if you can see them close enough or not, but it is an oak tree. Oak trees, especially like pin oaks, will leave their leaves on. They'll be brown. They'll leave on sometimes till late in the winter, and so just something you can tell your grandkids when you're out walking with them. Makes you look really smart. controlled succession area here at Blendon Woods. They mowed this down quite a few years ago, and then they've let it start to grow, and mostly it's still kind of in that herb layer type of stuff. There's a few small trees starting to pop up, and they'll let a few of those grow for a few years, and then probably they'll start it all over again. Succession is really fascinating to me here in Ohio and wherever you go. There's always a end result in mind. If you just let this area go by itself over the next 100 to 200 years, 300 years, you're going to end up with a beech maple forest or community. Sometimes oak and hickory as well here in Ohio. But in this particular area, this is climax community around here is beech maple. And so, yeah, that's the end result. Nature still carries on its course. And when you cut it down, then it starts all over with some pioneer plants, and then you end up with some softwoods moving in, and eventually it ends up being a hardwood. It's interesting that each plant makes it better for the following generation to come in and move in, which is an interesting concept in itself. And that's something that I teach all the time. I usually teach ecology in my biology classes, and so it's a fun thing for me, and it's a fun thing to bring kids out and to show them this whole idea of succession. So this is Thoreau Lake, part of the wildlife refuge here. Walden Waterfowl Refuge is what it's called. And man, usually there's a ton of ducks out here. I don't know if they've already gone south or if they're still on their way, but hardly anything out here today. It's really amazing. It has starting to ice over, but there's usually still, you know, several hundred ducks out here. Many years ago, I think back in the 70s this was built, and they have records like, you know, the first few years it was here, there's like 4,000 or 5,000 ducks flew through. Then it went up to, you know, 10,000, and I think it was up to like 23,000 or 24,000 that they would see during the course of a winter in here, coming in and flying through as part of the flyway. And then they had a drainage issue and some kind of contaminant. I don't know if it was oil or gas or what, but leaked out into the pond, and so they had to actually drain the pond and dredge all the mud up and stuff. It was like a 2 or 3 year project, and since that time it has kind of recovered, but nothing like it was back then. We could really tell. I think that was in the early 2000s, and it's still just now it's starting to come back. But now, of course, we have the problem of a lot of nesting sites are being wiped out up in Canada due to land development, and a lot of flyway areas on the way have also been developed. And so now we're having populations that are down, and so consequently we don't see as many ducks here in Ohio, especially in Columbus. Kind of a sad thing. I always bring my kids here. We always come here every Christmas Eve for, I think, the last 30 years, and you can just tell the difference over the years. And but it's still a beautiful place, and there still are ducks here, and so we still do like to come. But this is probably the first day on a Christmas that I've ever come up here that I actually haven't seen a duck. So some of you have seen some videos before where I've talked about if you camp around some hemlock or pine or fir or something like that, oftentimes you'll find these big branches at the bottoms of them, and they basically are dead. The tree keeps growing at the top, but these under branches die out, and this makes great wood for starting fires. They usually, if you have an axe, you can usually just one whack and you can knock those right off. Sometimes you can just break them off. You can see some more over here on this one, and those things just make awesome fire starting wood. If you can't start a fire, even if it's soaking rain other places, usually this wood will start up. So good thing to know. Look for these in these pine forests or fir forest. Hemlock have them, and you can see over here there's a whole bunch of them here, and all of this stuff is great wood to start a fire. Now it burns fast and burns up, so it's not really a great wood to use to keep a fire going, but it can you can throw some in when some of the greener stuff isn't growing or isn't burning very well, and this stuff will really help it spark it back into life. Well, that's another trip for this Christmas day. Kind of a slow, gimpy one, but hope you enjoyed a couple of sights along the way. Again, just want to make sure I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season. I hope you're looking forward to the new year. I know I am. 2018 was kind of a tough one for our family, and we're hoping that 2019 has a little bit brighter look to it. So we're gonna go into it hoping that we have a great year, and we'll take whatever the Lord gives us. Have a great day and enjoy your holiday season.